In the headlines, the DFC may be looking for a new events director as Claudine Springer resigns after just 2 months on the job. Police not ruling out foul play in a death by hanging and suspected arson at Liberty Jungle. And Petrocaribe LPG Dominica Limited launches its LPG sphere, providing a more stable energy supply. I am Andrea Lee with the Channel 5 News. Details after this. Welcome back. We begin with one of the biggest headlines making the rounds on Friday. 2 months into the position as events director of the Dominica Festivals Committee, St. Lucian Claudine Springer has resigned. Here is Idona Jean-Baptiste with more.
Springer was appointed to the post on May 17, 3 years after it remained vacant. She told Carry FM following her resignation on Friday that the job does not suit her, especially saying that she was not used to working in a public sector organization.
I'm from the private sector and this is public sector. And
yes.
We are adjusting to each other, but ultimately in life you have to make a decision on whether or not something is a good fit for you.
Okay.
You know? And I don't think this is a good fit for me, and because it's not a good fit for me, I may not be the best person to take your festivals where they need to go.
Springer says she feels good about her decision to leave the office for someone else who is more equipped to deal with what she calls the nuances of the public sector. She says because, I quote, "I just don't like it."
And so for me, you know, if I want to change my brand of toilet paper, I don't really want to write a rationale about it and get it approved and all of that stuff. But I appreciate that that is the way things work because we have a responsibility to the people of Dominica. Yes. And so I reached a juncture where I was like, look, do I want to spend my days writing stuff and all of that stuff? I'm an events person. That means I'm rough and tumble. I'm on the ground. I'm setting things up. And my background is not just the overseeing type. You know, I came from an events company where I set up lights and, you know, I like that part of my work. I love what I do for a living. And I just think to do it for the public sector requires me, you know, to do the other side of things that I'm not really interested in, and I think that's okay.
Although she admits she's not a good fit for this job, she says Dominica is losing out by her resignation.
No, we lose out a little bit because I think I'm dynamic and that's what you need right now. Did I understand from my job description that it would be all of these things? No. But did I ask? No as well. So it's two-headed where I'm not laying the blame at the feet of the organization. I'm saying that I am not a good fit. I had a good conversation with the CEO. I had a good conversation with the HR manager here. I told you we're parting as friends. And so I'm not sure where you're getting that I'm not pleased.
In other top stories, police are not ruling out foul play in the death of a businessman and fire at his business place. Idona Jean-Baptiste has that story.
Police are trying to piece clues together to determine the motive behind the death by hanging and suspected arson at Liberty Jungle. A tranquil country place, surrounded by tropical gardens. This is the image that Liberty Jungle represents. This peaceful setting at Bells is at the center of an investigation into a suspected arson and suicide. Police say 58-year-old Freddie Riviere was found hanging by his neck on the property. 2 out of 3 cottages have also been destroyed by fire.
Investigations have commenced into a suspected arson and suicide which occurred at Bells about 11 a.m. on Thursday, the 11th of August, 2016. The police responded to information which resulted in the discovery of the lifeless body of one adult male hanging by his neck from a wooden crossbeam in the restaurant and bar area of the Liberty Jungle at Bells. The body was identified as 58-year-old Freddie Riviere of French nationality.
The police are asking anyone with information on the incident to contact the Criminal Investigation Department and Crime Stoppers at 1-800-8477. Channel 5 News understands that Liberty Jungle was doing well with 20 to 30 honeymoons a year. Idona Jean-Baptiste, Channel 5 News.
In more major stories now, the dream of having a more reliable and stable energy supply in Dominica has been realized. This as Petrocaribe Dominica Limited launched its LPG sphere on Friday. This structure has a capacity of 2,140 barrels, which means it can provide a more ready supply of fuel when needed.
So when we commenced our LPG retail operations in June 2010, we brought the fuel in by using isotanks. Now, I'm proud to announce that on June 30th, let's say almost 1 week ago, we received our first shipment of 1,544 barrels of LPG. This means that we can guarantee supply on the market for at least 3 months and maintain security stock.
Blanco says PDV Dominica Limited is committed to its social corporate responsibility.
And the revenues earned will continue to be used for the social economic advancement of Dominica and to provide free LPG for those most vulnerable in our society. To date, we have no less than 295 benefactors of the LPG social program for a total monthly contribution of $4,000. So every time you buy from Petrocaribe, you are contributing to an important social investment in infrastructure, sport, education, housing, and culture, to name few.
The company now has new cylinders available.
We now have on the market 20-pound cylinders, 100-pound cylinders, 420-pound cylinders, and 250-gallon cylinders. So we are ready to do business. Those of you we have not contacted, please come to our doors. As I said, we have the most, as our general manager said, we have unbeatable prices. We're here to fulfill the vision and purpose of this government when we join the Petrocaribe agreement.
Meantime, Acting Prime Minister Dr. Colin McIntyre has lauded government's forward thinking of introducing Petrocaribe to the country several years ago.
Petrocaribe has done well for Dominica. Petrocaribe, based on its humanitarian, socialist type of arrangement, looking at the marginalized, and hearing the stories of the marginalized people, seniors at a certain age, persons who cannot afford energy in terms of cooking and different things like that, they have benefited from it. As a former Minister of Trade, I remember the shortages, and we used to have shortages, and you used to see the lines, they used to be long. But since the introduction of Petro, this initiative here, we have seen a decrease in that, and I think we have what you call a serious energy security system with Petrocaribe in Dominica.
The Acting Prime Minister has called on the general public to give full support to the Petrocaribe program.
It is one of the organizations that we have to protect. And I mean, the amount of programs in terms of the social programs in Dominica, the sea defense walls, and the various programs that have been run from this initiative in terms of from a social point of view. Let us not take this for granted. We have a relationship with Venezuela through this initiative that is helping us. We have to protect it. It is very, very disheartening to hear people come on these radio stations and the negativity that flows in terms of trying to cry down this relationship. The criticism is not leveled properly, and I mean, we have to educate these people. And I'd like to say to the staff here and our corporate partners here today with us, you have to protect this initiative. This is not a joke. There are not many boats living or ships living the Portugal. This one has anchored here. We need to protect it.
In an effort to ensure that the environment is monitored and remains in its pristine form, the Dominica Solid Waste Management Corporation is sourcing funds to purchase closed-circuit television cameras or CCTVs. While the cameras cost $2,000, the corporation is limited in terms of cash.
Our way forward is getting sponsors for those cameras, because those cameras for us are one of the way forward for monitoring our pristine environments, because we know that not many people deface the environment, maybe about 20% of the 100% of 80% of people who support the corporation and its efforts in ensuring a clean and pristine Dominica.
The PRO noted that the association needs to capture the 20% of individuals who do not adhere to the laws and schedules of collections, specifically in the Roseau and Portsmouth districts.
For us, ensuring a clean environment, as you continue to say, is not only for the tourist, but first and foremost for the health of our people, ensuring a healthy citizenry and thus ensuring development in Dominica. If our people are healthy, that means we will be more prone to less diseases and be able to be more productive.
2 years ago, it was discussed that the association would partner with Platinum Security, Inc. to develop this initiative. Channel 5 News will bring you the perspective of the manager of Platinum Security, Kimo Astafan, as soon as that becomes available. Coming up, Domlek donates dialysis machine to the Princess Margaret Hospital. Thank you for staying with us. Deputy Chairman of the Petrocaribe Dominica program has sought to clear the air on misconceptions of the management of the program. The Deputy Chairman, who is also the Minister for Housing and Lands, says the program is transparent and beneficial to Dominica.
There are two management tiers in Petrocaribe. There is Petrocaribe and there's the Dominica National Petroleum Company. The product is imported by the Dominica National Petrocaribe, of which I have nothing to do. Dominica has 49% shares in the company. Venezuela has 51% shares in the company. And I guess by virtue of that ratio, they appoint the chairman, who is Venezuelan, and I am Dominican, represent the Dominican government, and I don't get paid for being the deputy chairman of Petrocaribe. So when Domlek pays the check to DMPC, Domlek pays to Petrocaribe, and Petrocaribe pays to DMPC, and we fulfill our obligations under the agreement. 40% we pay within a 3-month period. The other 60% is given as a loan to the government for all the social projects that were mentioned.
The Deputy Chairman says the future of Petrocaribe in Dominica looks very promising.
The future of Petrocaribe looks bright. We continue to expand, but we have to raise the revenues. We buy the product at the world market price. So if the world market price is 10 cents a gallon, we pay 10 cents a gallon. But we have been able to manage the program in such a way that because it's a direct government-to-government relationship, we can remove a lot of the transactional cost. And so we can bite into less profit. And so the little profit that we make is passed back on to the community. But at no time has the government of Dominica been found wanting in terms of the wise use of the funds and the accountability of the funds.
Austria believes that the launching of the LPG sphere augurs well for Dominica's energy security.
The benefit of that really is to have a stabilized supply, because importing with ISO tanks, you can run out and so on, but with a sphere which has a 3-month supply, so we can guarantee that we'll be able to hold 3-month supply and thus keep the price stable and the supply is stable.
The Princess Margaret Hospital is now better equipped to care for patients on dialysis. The new equipment filters patients' blood and removes excess water and waste products when the kidneys are damaged, dysfunctional, or missing. Domlek presented the dialysis machine to the PMH on Friday. Member of the Board of Directors, Adela Hamlet, said the machine is particularly dear to him. Hamlet explained that in 2012, he visited a friend who suffered from renal failure, and because of the shortage of dialysis machines, patients over 65 years would have to wait in line. Representative of the Ministry of Health, Ms. Augustina Popo, expressed her heartfelt gratitude to Domlek as the country continues to be challenged by communicable diseases. She believes this initiative will be a vital asset to the new hospital. Minister for Health and Environment, Dr. Kenneth Daru, said while government would continue to invest in health, everyone should come on board just as Domlek did. And finally, in our news broadcast aired on Monday, 8 August 2016, we broadcast a story relating to the alleged sudden death of a young man from Maho, and in the course thereof included an insert of an interview with the mother of the young man, Ivinia Luke. In the course of the interview, we broadcasted the words of Miss Luke, who, in response to our questions, stated that her son had had no prior medical condition other than a complaint to his leg in June, in respect of which he had visited Dr. Emmanuel, who had given him medication. Marpin acknowledges that in the course of the preparation and broadcast of the story, we did not speak to Dr. Victor Emmanuel, to whom reference had been made, nor did we seek to ascertain the truth of what was said in relation to him. We recognize that the words and context of the interview may have conveyed to the listeners the impression that the acts or omissions of Dr. Emmanuel may have caused or contributed to the death of the young man. We wish to make it clear that Marpin 2K4 Limited has no basis on which to suggest that the medical doctor had done anything wrong or had in any way contributed to the young man's sudden death. Marpin 2K4 Limited, therefore, unreservedly apologizes to Dr. Victor Emmanuel for any inconvenience or embarrassment the broadcast of the story may have caused to him or his medical practice. That's news. Your sports highlights next with Kenny Williams.
Cricket takes the first to knock. On the fourth day of the test between West Indies and India, the Windies were bowled out for 225. B. Kumara picked up 5 for 33. India, in reply, reached 157 for 3. A. Rahane scored 51 not out and R. Sharma 41. We head over to Rio now, where Dominican athlete Thea Lafont is keeping a positive spirit ahead of her debut Olympic appearance. Lafont says she is focused on doing her best at the women's triple jump event.
So far, life in Rio has been quite wonderful. I'm truly enjoying waking up and going to train every morning alongside the greats of the world. I have very high expectations for myself and for Jordanis as well for this upcoming Olympic performance. I think we've both been working very hard, and I'm excited for our hard work to be shown to the world on this stage. Of the strategy heading into competition right now is to very much kind of focus on my own being. It's very easy to get distracted by who's doing what and the scores in front of you, but the key with success is to focus on you and do the best to your ability. And I thank you for reaching out, and I thank the people of Dominica for being constant support through this entire journey.
Thea's event is set for 8:40 a.m. on Saturday. The men's round of that competition is set for Monday, when Jordanis Garcia will also be representing Dominica. Onto the basketball scene, where Detroit Blazers and Police Sports Club registered wins in Thursday's games of the 2016 Flow DABA playoffs, while the veteran Blazers team dominated play with a 42-point lead against Signman X-Men. Thomas Felix had a steady hand as he bagged 28 points and 5 rebounds to help bring Blazers to 86 points. Nathan John Jules added 13 and 8 rebounds for the winners. In a losing effort, X-Men contended with 44. Kamal Hamilton scored 19, grabbing 5 rebounds. Meantime, in the other match, Police Sports Club won their match 64-59 against United Insurance Sharks. Kerry Christmas led the way with 17 and 10 rebounds. Marlon Hillier 15, Lenny Dangleben 14, and Caleb Challenger 13 for Police. Top shooters for Sharks were Jason Samuel 18, Chambly Blanc 14, and Marcel Nicholas 12. In netball, the sports division will host the 8th annual 13 and Under Regional Invitational Netball Festival from August 14 to 18. Anguilla and St. Lucia joined the Dominica National Under 13 team and the Dominica B team in the festival this year at Benjamin's Park. The festival begins on Sunday with an opening ceremony from 4, followed by 2 matches in the round-robin format. The opening is expected to be addressed by Sports Coordinator Trevor Shillingford, the Mayor of Portsmouth, and Honorable Ian Douglas. Matches in the festival will continue daily from 5 p.m. Next up, the 2016 Olympics is being staged at Rio, but right here in Dominica, the Special Olympic team will be having their go at some local competition this weekend. President of the local committee, Ainsworth Irish, has details of Sunday's event.
Right here at the Botanic Gardens from 10 o'clock, where athletes from Portsmouth, the Carib territory, and of course Roseau will come into the Botanic Gardens. We'll have a little opening, a little match, and they'll take part in bocce, an Italian game that we've been playing here, bocce, the athletics, and also they'll be throwing the softball, and they'll be having the speed walk and so on.
Iris says Special Olympics is a big deal regionally and internationally and can be the same here.
even if these children have the disability, that does not inhibit their ability to do things. Around the world, around the Caribbean, in St. Kitts, in Trinidad, Jamaica, Special Olympics is very strong.
He says following Sunday's games, a new committee should be implemented, and he hopes to have a fundraiser for Special Olympics soon.
Shortly after the games, we're going to put a new committee together. Jamaica have a very strong Special Olympics. Every year the police run around and raise $1 million for them in Jamaica so that they can participate in the World Games. And Dominica, we're trying to set up a law enforcement touch run soon so that persons can come in and support, pay maybe a small fee of $10 and run around to raise some funds for Special Olympics, because we cannot leave these children behind. They have the potential, we have to bring them forward. They were created by God in His own likeness and image, and we have to give them an equal opportunity like anybody else to participate in wholesome activities.
The new committee would be responsible for marketing of Special Olympics and education on health-related topics. The Dominica Special Olympic Committee has been around since 1988. We come back to the cricket scene now because this weekend, weather permitting, the Digicel Augustus Gregoire Premier Cricket League continues with 2 semi-final matches. At Botanic Gardens, Desiderata Tremors and Marino Sports Club will be engaged in intense bat and ball action, while over at Windsor Park it will be a clash between Dublin Sports Club and the Dominica Cricket Association Academy. Starting time is 10 a.m. Finally, 7 games are on the cards this Sunday as matches continue in the 2016 Giant Malt National Rounders League. Stowe & Co Hard Hitters versus KFC Mafia Battlers at Soufriere. Matadors versus Viking Reformers at Portersville. Wharton Waven Stunners and Gallion Heatwave at Wharton Waven. Maxroy Royal Challengers versus Dubla Almond Stars at Dubla. And Rising Stars against ACS South Defenders at Grand Bay. Those games play at 1 p.m. Still in Sunday's games, St. Joe Phoenix will do battle with NCCU Domsetco Stars at Rivière Syrique, and RIC Health Club will take on Fantastic Stars at Casa Bruce. These games are down for 10:30 a.m. That's all the sporting highlights for now. I am Kenny Williams. Be sure to enjoy your weekend.
Your weekend weather forecast is next.
Good evening, Dominica, and welcome to tonight's weather broadcast. I'm your presenter, Marsha Alexander. We begin by taking a look at earlier infrared satellite imagery, what it showed. This area of convection across the region following the passage of a tropical wave. Now taking a look at earlier visible satellite imagery, what it showed. Some low-level clouds across the region today, including some pockets of thunderstorm cells to the east and south of Dominica. This resulted in generally cloudy skies across the island. Now taking a look at earlier radar imagery and what it indicated. The associated scattered showers across the region during today. Tonight's weather is expected to be mostly cloudy with scattered showers and possible isolated thunderstorms. Persons in areas prone to flooding, landslides and falling rocks, you're advised to continue to be vigilant and to exercise some caution. However, by tomorrow, a relative improvement in conditions can be expected, with conditions becoming fair to partly cloudy, with a few scattered showers mainly during the morning. Sea conditions are expected to be slight to moderate in open water, with waves peaking near 5 feet. For the next 3 days, fair to partly cloudy skies, with a few scattered showers can be expected throughout the 3-day period, with an increase in wind speeds expected by Sunday. For the rest of the Caribbean tomorrow, fair to partly cloudy skies, with a few brief scattered showers can be expected across the central and southern portion of the region, with a relative increase in cloudiness and scattered showers expected across the extreme northern portion of the island chain. Our international cities forecast: some thunderstorm activity can be expected in New York and Caracas, partly cloudy skies expected in Miami, London, and Beijing. Sunrise tomorrow will be at 5:50 a.m. and sunset will be at 6:30 p.m. Please remember that we are in the hurricane season. For more information, you can call the weather hotline at 447-5555 or visit the website at weather.gov.dm. Thanks for viewing. Have a good weekend.
To end the news, the headlines again. The DFC may be looking for a new events director as Claudine Springer resigns after just 2 months on the job. Police not ruling out foul play in a death by hanging and suspected arson at Liberty Jungle. And Petrocaribe PDV Dominica Limited launches its LPG sphere, providing a more stable energy supply. Feel free to contact us at news@marpin2k4.com. You can also access our past newscasts on our YouTube channel. On behalf of the entire production team, I am Andrea Louis, and to all our viewers around the world, thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful weekend.